Welcome to the Golden Feminine podcast. This is a sacred space dedicated to expand wisdom around feminine energetics, multipotentiality, embodied leadership, love, empowerment, and sexuality. I'm your host, Inês Roqueduval. Hello, everyone. So, I have today a very special guest. Her name is Gillian, and she is an incredible healer. She comes from Ireland. She does an amazing work, especially here in UAE, in Dubai. And I have been a privilege to be in her circles and experience one of the most transformational, ancestral healing processes, healing circles, where you can really go deep within yourself, deep within your ancestral lineage, deep what is actually blocking you. And not just that, but has also reprogram all your energy liberation. So it's an incredible method, an incredible lineage that helps you to become aware, heal yourself, transform your life. And I can't wait for you to meet this incredible soul. So I'm inviting her. So hello, Gillian. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. It's an absolute pleasure and honor also to be invited and on this channel. Thank you. To a fellow goddess and incredible healer and light worker and yeah, so many other things.
Beautiful. Yeah, so I would love you to introduce you a bit yourself. I introduce you a bit, but I want you to tell here the listeners more about your work and what you do, because who better to explain that than you? Explain your magic, explain the phenomenal things you do, because they are, if I have to say, if there is a person that really knows how to work with ancestrality, is Gillian. So listen to her.
Thank you so much. You're very kind, very kind. Yeah, I mean, this work is, like, as you said, deep, transformational, ancient form of healing, which when you say that I'm doing it, it's not really me as such. I just hold the space and the guides and the ancestors and the angels and the spirit helpers and whoever like as we call in during this work in the invocation, all the incredible messengers, prophets, gods, and whoever needs to be there in any particular evening for each particular person, basically do the work. So I've been doing this work for a few years now. I first found it with Ger Lyons, who's my teacher and an incredible healer, mystic. Like he's a druid, healer. He does work all over the world, healing thousands and thousands and thousands of people for a long time. So yeah, I went to his workshops in Ireland, is what introduced me to this work. And I've been to Maui to his workshops, Northern Ireland, and different locations. Sometimes you feel like you don't go to them, but you feel like you're there in spirit. So it's interesting. Yeah. So we have to thank him for this work, really. So we're just kind of following it out in different parts of the world.
Beautiful. And this has also like a lineage, right? That comes from like the Celtic lineages. And where did it come actually from? Which are the roots of this? Because it's
Yeah,
so
exactly.
powerful. It's ancient, right?
Yes, exactly. Like I said, obviously Jerry is a very powerful, gifted healer from Ireland. And he just carries so much experience from life and a passion to explore the profound healing gift he was born with. So with his depth of knowledge and wisdom, coming from deep studies and like relentless research around the world, he sort of yeah, he became a modern day alchemist basically, and he gave us this medicine. So his path was an exploration of freedom and truth, as well as exciting discovery of nature and creation itself and our existence. So he sort of created this, which is a use of active living mystic prayer, together with very old Celtic and Nordic traditional healing transmissions,
Mm,
using sounds,
mm.
music, exercises, invocation, healing incantations. And he skillfully adapted and developed all these to align with modern life, and language that we can understand. Because obviously in those times it was a language that we probably wouldn't understand now.
Wow, so
Um,
amazing. So amazing. It's really, really powerful. Like it's just by listening to you, I just feel like, wow, like it feels like it's so ancient. It comes like from the creation of the world almost. Seems like this knowledge has been passed through generations. And
mm,
and sometimes we're talking about modern therapy and like new researchers, but sometimes the most potent ones are the ones who actually come from thousands and thousands of years. And this is a sensation I have when I started working with you. It really brings like what's very hidden from so many generations. Like especially we have been working out with the mother with the feminine lineage, especially in the last circle we did. So what has been going through the traumas and the wounds of the feminine, through the mothers, the grandmothers, and so many generations. I think there are some pain and wounds that we have experienced inside the circle, but I think it had more like 50 generations, maybe a lot
mm,
of generations, a
exactly.
lot.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
So I'm sharing this because recently we had this potent circle that me and Gillian, we created this potent circle in the desert, and was so incredible. We had like a team about also increasing the feminine energy and all of that. And what is incredible is to increase this femininity, to increase this potential around the feminine, we have to unlock all the wounds, the traumas, and like the negative energy that is actually blocking us. And
Exactly.
sometimes it doesn't come from this lifetime, right? Sometimes comes just not from past lifetimes, but also from our generation, our mothers, our grandmothers. And I would love you to, because you have so much experience around it. Every time I come to your circles, it's all about really, really like ancient things that come to us. So how does it all work? How the ancestors can come into our stories, our daily life, how it actually impacts our life? Tell me a bit more. How do you experience that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting. You see so many people that step into this space and into this healing, carrying so much trauma from their lineage, unknowns to themselves, as you experience in the circle you came to in the desert. The energy and the guides and the ancestors just knew that this person was holding it and storing it, and it was holding her back, from fully and truly living in her own power and in her own life. So it just sort of starts to unravel, because like every cell carries a memory which holds and stores impressions of everything we've ever experienced. Um,
Mm,
so by clearing and purifying the core cellular memory where trauma or programming is stored as its origins, we can release permanently like these old patterns, behaviors, and just stagnant, dead energy that's just holding us back, whether it's from us or from generations before us. Um, and these are words again, from Ger Lyons, which is what he sort of has taught us, But yeah, from feeling it, being in the circles, definitely just releasing this work, releasing that trauma, that energy, or that stuckness, from people, is incredible. Can have really profound changes in people's lives.
yeah, it's incredible to say because even in epigenetics, they have been proving that in our DNA, from generation to generation, we pass a lot. a lot of wisdom, not just the qualities and the physical appearance, but also all the mental imprints, energetic imprints in all the bodies that we have, just not the physical body, but the mental, the energetically, the emotional body. So thanks God that science actually has been bridging with spirituality and these deep Asian techniques, because it helped us to a full liberation, and our cells have all those imprints. Our DNA have all those imprints. And sometimes we have wounds. I have this experience that sometimes I have these wounds that I feel that some kind are mine, but they are not mine at the same time. I don't know if you experience this. And it's just not about picking up energies around us, right? But just about, okay, I feel this, but I don't understand why. And this question comes to me many times because I have experienced, me and many women, by treating so many women, and for sure you see this all the time in your circles. Like the reason why I don't understand why they are feeling like that is because sometimes they are not connected enough with the stories of their families. They are feeling maybe an ancestor, wounds of the mother, wounds of the grandmother, or wounds from a person that actually died and they don't know the story. But it's there, it's in their bodies, so it's theirs, but at the same time is not theirs. So why I feel like this abuse in my body, if I was never abused, right? Why I feel this sadness if I don't have those situations and memories that for me to feel this sadness. So most of the times in therapies that take years and years and years and years to uncover that, and sometimes after 10 years, because there is not this consciousness about the multidimensionality of the being, it's hard to achieve those memories and access the root of all.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because I've had psychologists like practicing for 40 years come to me for sessions. And yeah, obviously to train to be that, they have to do a certain amount of hours and see so many clients. But she really felt like the work, and obviously there's so many different medicines out there. It's just whatever medicine resonates with you and you feel hits the spot. But yeah, she really felt like it got to a level that is quite not difficult, but maybe more challenging to get by talking, by discussing, which obviously that is also needed for sure. We need a bit of everything, but yeah, it really sometimes gets to the root of the problem and presents itself and shows it to you. Because even after the circles, yeah, it can continue for days or for weeks, the whole transmutation.
Because the integration comes also with the experience, right? You cannot just awaken from the day to another, as you have been shut down in some parts for so many years, and sometimes there are wounds and patterns that are being there for generations. It takes time for them to open and integrate and to alchemize it. So I want to, for the listeners who listen to this podcast, I want them to really understand what's happening in the circle, because we are talking about through talking. Sometimes you can take 10 years to understand something and access a memory. But what happens in your circles is sometimes we have access immediately, in like minutes. And in your circles, women talk a lot. So there is also talking. But there is a component that accelerates the process. So why there is a difference between ancient wisdom and aromatherapy is because this kind of work, and me who have been working a lot of energetic medicine my whole healing life, it just accelerates your awareness. Because the first step for you to heal something inside of you is becoming aware of the pattern. If you do a lot of energy healing and Reiki, and which is amazing techniques, and we use them into the circles, but you are not aware, you are actually not healing anything. So we have to become aware. And what happens in your circles, as I experience and in this healing work, every time that you bring ancient wisdom, and people can get very afraid of it because they associate with has been very demonized, this kind of work. It's for witches or for this, or it's like involves magic. But when it's done in a very sacred container, the highest frequency possible, and not of consciousness from like very rooted and grounded people, what happens is accelerates the process of a person, accelerates the awareness. So this is the key component of what we experienced. For example, the last circle, it's like after 3 musics we just access all the memories. Okay, this is what I want to work. So how, why, what happens different between starting, a normal therapy than actually bringing all this energy? So why this energy is so strong? Why women can access this so easily? It's because there is a potent energy. What is the technology that is behind this?
Yeah, it's very hard. It's quite difficult to describe. Again, I feel like it's sort of Jura's medicine that we're bringing through, and yeah, it's just we're holding that space. And like even the first workshop I went to with Jura, I sat beside him in the circle, and he just said to me, "For you, it's like breathing, you know." It was so
Mm,
natural, and it just felt so, yeah, just so normal to me, it just felt very yeah, literally, like you said, breathing. So it felt very, very normal to me to do this. So to try and understand it and try and explain it um is another thing. So yeah, I mean, basically we create the sacred space, as you've heard, to do the invocation, um and we just allow the ancestors and the energy. It has its own intelligence, so we allow that to, you know not take over, to sort of, we surrender. I suppose the more people surrender and just try and just allow whatever needs to come up, just come up, and not stop it or not block it, and just really let it come through them, because um it seems to always know what needs to be faced and what needs to come up first. So it
mm,
comes from an ancient origin beyond mind, religion, or belief, from a source of creation, from the heart of our creator. And like Jer, he always allows himself to be used for the energy to come through him, for the transmission of the alchemy to be taking place. Um, After we play the music, as you can feel, once we start playing the healing music that he uses,
mm.
the energy just starts, and it just starts to work around us, within us, and support us. And it feels very, very safe. I mean, some people in the circle have said, like, did you get up and walk past me? Maybe their ancestors or something. They can really feel, the energy moving.
Exactly, exactly.
And
And
then the meditation obviously creates the space, called in, it's the prayer that we need in order to really activate it.
exactly. And there is a very special prayer, right? Like you just call into all the ancestors, you just call all into the energy itself. And you will, the beauty of it, it's sometimes has no theme. It's so free that you allow the energy to
To decide exactly.
to flow in its intelligence, right?
Exactly. You couldn't, like I always say in the circle, okay, some people might come with the intention of really want to call in the right relationship, or they're having relationship issues, or there's a specific reason they want to come and do some healing. But the minute they sit down and surrender, and the circle starts, and the music starts, completely different story comes into their head, or problem, or trauma, or memory comes into their head, in which they is actually what they need to heal. So it has its own intelligence and its own flow. So, and it's so interesting. Each circle, most people have similar things to work on. Whoever shows up is not a coincidence.
And why do you think that this happens? Like why people come together in the same circle?
It's just so interesting, because obviously also huge part of the circle is deep listening. So when you're listening to that other person opposite you, or in this sacred circle, talking about the trauma, or talking about what it is that they need to change in their life, and you fully resonate with that, and you're deeply listening to that person, you're also healing yourself. So it's this beautiful,
Wow.
just this incredible thing. Or sometimes you might even realize that's what you need to heal within yourself. But when you're listening, you're like, that's me. And it just,
Oh, wow.
like, oh my God. Like, so it's like a
Yes,
merge, you know? So it's just to see
exactly.
people synchronize healing, and also for the collective. Obviously, a huge part of the healing is in the prayer is for the collective as well.
I
We can
truly,
feel it sometimes. We feel that energy in the circle. It might not even be you. You can feel the collective. So sometimes you can cry, or you can scream, or you can move for the collective.
exactly. It's so interesting what you say. Wow, because as a person that I work one-on-one and I work groups, I must confess, I prefer the group work. And I
Mm.
believe that the group work many times can be more potent than
Mm.
the one-on-one. And why? Because of self-awareness reasons. Because in the group, I want to share this because some people are afraid, I don't want to be in groups, and they have the belief that the one-on-one is always more potent than the group work. And I have been noticing that there's some women that have no awareness about their own processes. They actually get aware about the sharings of the others. Because what I believe is people come together through resonance. So
Mm.
if we can, everything in the world happens through resonance. We attract by resonance, by energetic match. And the group is created because there is an intelligence, an energetic intelligence that created a field with a specific medicine for everyone. So everyone on that field will need that medicine, that energetic medicine. So these people will have similar problems and issues and traumas and memories and stories
Absolutely.
because the energy is potentialized to actually work for everyone. And in the groups, I feel because people get so self aware through other sharings that the energy becomes even more intense. So we have more guides working with us. Everyone brings their energy and it brings more into the table. So there is this incredible intelligence that happens in the groups that
Mm.
when we put something in the cauldron, so let's say everyone sharing, we actually are putting for everyone. So if you have that pattern, the energy is going to work what you shared and what all the others shared that you might have in your story. And what I realized is sometimes the person in front of you might tell you a story that you don't know about yourself, about
Yes.
your stories.
Yes.
So that's the beauty of the groups. And I think that nothing can makes you more aware, self-aware, than intimate, deep group work. The one-on-ones are incredible when we are so self-aware about the problem and we are just, okay, let's go deep into that. Let's work with all the energy field onto you and let's reframe it directly to you. But sometimes people are sleeping, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So I believe you have been encountering a lot of these situations where women just see other stories and also like you see yourself in others. How does it
Mm.
work?
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting, and it's lovely when you see people have that aha moment of that's what I need to work on, or that's what I need to release. And just how it's so beautiful how men and women, because obviously men come to the circle also, and it's lovely to have a combination of the masculine and the feminine. um yeah, just to see the support that each person gives each person, and that deep listening like we spoke about as well. And it's just so beautiful. Yeah, it's just so beautiful.
And how do you find, for example, this work is very known, right? Like for women are more like they tend to do more the healing work because we are emotions, we are all about relationships. So there is also a connection why women are more drawn to healing work. Instead, the masculine is it's more resistant to the work because there is this belief that if you show your vulnerability, you are weak, that healing is for weak people. So how do you find like the transformations around men, and like the difference between men and women is so interesting in your circles to observe this?
It's very interesting, but really you don't really see the difference once they're in the circle, you know. Obviously, there's the majority. It's 80% women right now. I feel more and more like men that I meet and have a conversation about what I do. They're very drawn to it, very open to it, and it's so good to see it, you know, because obviously we all need that release, we all need that transformation, and so yeah, there's more and more men starting to come now, which is fabulous. But once everyone's in the circle, it's just all the same, you know.
Mm, I see. Wow. So amazing. It's incredible what you say, because men tend to be very afraid of this work. Yeah,
Mm,
right.
mm.
And
Exactly. I feel like the energy in the circle sort of, once you do that little bit of surrendering, it just, can make people cry who probably haven't cried for 15 years, can make people scream that have been suppressed.
wow.
The energy just pushes it out. So yeah. Once they show up and make that contract to the work, then the energy of the universe meets them halfway and supports them.
Wow. It's really amazing because I'm very used to just women, and seeing men also in doing this kind of work. It impacts your relationships, it impacts your career, it impacts your business, it impacts love, everything,
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Oh, everything. Honestly, sometimes like from the next day, you feel the changes, you feel the shifts, you feel, your vibration is different, your energy feels different. So it's a lot more difficult to be in environments that doesn't serve you, or be around people that maybe are not aligned with you, or situations that are not aligned with you, or that you feel is for your highest good. It becomes harder to sustain that and stay in that space the more work you do. So obviously it's like everything else. We do it every month. I do it every month. So it's, each time you're just unraveling and unlayering. And yeah, it's like the maintenance in a way, each time you go, rather than letting it build up, it just frees you more and more the more you do it. But yeah, it's certainly from when I first did it anyway, it changed my life sort of within a few days.
Wow. You want to share about it?
Yeah, I mean, the first workshop I did with your was 7 days, 7 full days of literally like you've been in a circle. So it's 7 days of maybe 12 hours a day of doing that work.
Oh my God.
Um,
I can't
after
imagine.
that after that week, yeah. I mean, obviously you need to do your integration, but yeah, and it becomes a lot easier to just be fully aligned with yourself and realizing something's not aligned with you, and make peace with that and say, okay, that's not aligned with me, and just keep listening to your intuition, your inner guidance, and trusting that sense of that doesn't feel right for me. So just continuing on your path without that struggle, or that without having to push too hard, just to get it into that flow where life is just so beautiful, so many opportunities open up. um you just fully step into life, the more and more work we do, I suppose.
Yes. And yeah, I want to share also a bit one of experience I had with you. I've was the first circle. And here in the Middle East, I definitely came to heal another levels and layers around the masculine, around building my masculine and healing my masculine as well. So it was very interesting. I think it was a full moon in Libra. It was all about relationships. It was all about balancing the feminine and the masculine, the yin and yang, bringing awareness into partnerships. And it was very interesting because even though I didn't I didn't plan a theme to bring. I was already receiving the insights the days before. So what is beautiful about this work is the energy is so intelligent that starts
Mm.
to bring you awareness and memories and dreams in the days before it really can start to happen. That's how you know the energy is working. Energy doesn't work by you having crazy sensations. Of course, it's normal to have sensations, but in daily life, how it changes, the thoughts that come to your mind, the the memories that come in your dreams, what how is your energy levels, what are you being reminded of. And I remember that I had a huge pattern around narcissistic abuse that I actually never related. Remember that my circle was so deep, and I work a lot already around this field. And I share a lot about my time on teenagehood, that when I suffered a lot of abuse, but I never realized that sometimes in relatings I was not really the father wound, because was not that one, but was a story of repression around the feminine for so much generations. And I was repeating into relationship where I couldn't be fully myself, or where my work can be judged, or like my sensuality is too much. And there were several relationships where this was very discriminated. And I was seeing all over my life how the what I address is there has to always be a parameter in society. And but I never related with narcissistic abuse. Is incredible. And in the days before, or the day before, is amazing. Just before the circle, the guides, your energy, God, the universe, like whatever makes sense to you to call this, but there is some force that actually starts to send you signals to become aware of your own process.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I remember that I was in the beach, and in the night I was like crying, like my heart. I was like, oh my God, how did I end up again like in such this behavior? What is here for me to see? Why I'm attracting this situation? And then I was like, oh, yeah, just the night before the circle, I so remember, oh my God, uh, there is this pattern. Oh, I live this memory. Oh man, okay, this wound, this behavior is showing me that memory that created an imprint. And I'm believing that now in our relationships, how this is gonna end. I remember that how it started to come up so strongly, and all the programs I do as well around ancestral healing, around especially sexuality. Like people come to my programs thinking about it's a program about having the multidimensional orgasm, and then they go in a
Yeah.
bed, it's like next level healing journey that like puts all the like all the shit out of you. and
Wow.
and that is the magic. Is I came into the circle, and I mean, it was so clear. I was like, oh, when the music starts, what I felt was the emotions moving. It was just not the awareness, but the second stage, which is the emotional moving, like, oh my God, and all this. And these forces, these memories, they control your life, right?
Absolutely.
It's like a vortex. They put you, use your subconscious is very intelligent. So for you to actually resist life and resist like the next level joy, love, why this is so important for people to do this work? Because to protect yourself, it keeps telling you these stories. So you actually
Yes.
don't lean in fully in love, in intimacy, in or taking risks even in your career, in your vision, in your life, because you are
Exactly.
constantly being uh, dominated by these thoughts and by these imprints that are in the body constantly and constantly. So I had this experience when I came to your circle, and it happens a lot also in my circles, this situation. It's like I started to feel the emotion, the energy of this emotion, the heaviness, and how it was controlling my life. And remember when we just started the energetic practice and was like, like everyone screaming. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like my story was triggering others, and it was not triggering, but awakening also their
Awakening. Yeah.
stories and their energy, and pulling out also this heaviness from the others. And all of a sudden we were like in a cauldron where everyone was getting healed by everyone's uh medicine and stories.
Exactly. Exactly.
Remember, and there is a component around that, around the energy, and how the energy works, right? This energy that we chat that you channel, that you ask for it, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's just watching it unfold is just it's such a blessing. Um, as you said, like this cauldron, like and it's just you can feel the energy building, the, the trauma being released, the like you said, like women were screaming or releasing for so many generations before, you know. Um, yeah, you really feel like we moved mountains.
Wow. Yes.
Everybody looked different afterwards. It was incredible. Just like so much lighter.
So we become aware, and then what happens is we feel the energy, and after we feel the energy, there is this channel that this energy that comes through a portal, right? And I remember that I wanted to explore that because I was sharing, and then we started the healing process, and
Mm.
we all called. I think also it happened to me because I'm so open and so in the healing process, that every time um new layers are coming, I'm so open to see more, because also the work I do, that also new layers are coming up. And I remember that all of a sudden I looked at you, but it was not you, it was like a kind of a guide talking to me. So what happens in this situation? How it happens? Because it was, you were saying the right words, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, let's start the energy, let's call the energy, let's just bring it,
Yeah.
and just just let's channel it, and let's clean it all. And all of a sudden we were all like in a huge process. Like, how does it happen? Like, you like, how do you feel all of that happen? You are visualizing our energy body, you are just having visions. Like, tell us what you are feel from the other side.
It's so funny. Like it's so different in every circle, each person's process. It's just I just listen, I listen to what they guide me to do or what my intuition tells me to do. Some people I don't say anything, some people like I say certain words or certain story or not story, but certain messages come through for that person. Or else some like energetic some energy. Obviously there's sort of a transmission, there's energy coming through for each person as they're speaking, and I'm like just pouring light and connecting with the divine, with God, with your guides, with whoever it is you connect with. But I connect to mine, and I just like work with them through that, with that person, they work through me to that person. um so and also the person's doing their own healing, so they're activating their intuition and allowing their energy to, and their mind and their soul and their body to do what it needs to do also. So it's just a synergy of both people working together. So yeah, it's just messages, it's energy, it's guidance. I'm just listening, and yeah, and holding it very safe, sacred space to allow that to unfold.
Exactly, so beautiful. Yeah, because I remember that it didn't seem you, was like just
Yeah.
another priestess awakening through you, right?
Mm,
So you
say
feel
that.
that you are like charged, you feel like there is some divinity that enters in your body, right?
Mm. Yeah, you just feel connected. And I suppose me as Gillian and my everyday life and thoughts, and it just sort of steps aside, and you just sort of, I suppose, become a channel, or you just plug yourself into that intelligence, and just try and bring that into the space.
Wow, so really beautiful.
For whoever it's meant to help, or however it's meant to manifest. Yeah, for the highest good of everybody sitting there, obviously, and for, yeah, for all.
And you
Yeah,
also like connect with our guides, right? You also are able to, it's like a mixture of everything.
that's such a combination of so many things. Because I also started years ago, again, quite naturally, when I was doing private sessions, I
Mm.
started to see past lives.
Oh, wow.
So
Tell us about this.
sometimes when, yeah, but I don't so much do private sessions anymore. I prefer the circles. I mean, I would do them, but mostly circles, because it's so strong when we all heal together, in that space. But yeah, I started, like, past lives started to show up for me. I could sort of see them very, very clearly and feel them and get a sense of what that trauma was that was carried in this lifetime. Um, so yeah, sometimes then in the circle you can get a sense of that, and just pour energy around that and heal that, whatever needs to be healed in one specific lifetime, or maybe two, depending what shows up. So yeah, it's a combination of past lives, combination of like everything we spoke about. So yeah, it's a tough one to explain, but when you sit in the energy and you sit in there, it's like you don't need an explanation. You feel it.
Wow.
Especially days after and weeks after, you just feel it. You feel the shift. You feel different in a really
Because
good.
because when you change the pattern, you change the frequency, you change your reality.
Exactly.
This is what people miss to understand is we attract according to our belief system, our subconscious, our energetic, and our physical body. So sometimes just becoming aware is not enough. If it's still in the energy body, which is most of the work you do, like when we invoke the energy. So energy medicine is incredible to help to cleanse the energy field, embodiment, and work with the body to actually cleanse from the body. And when we do the energy and the body, we also cleanse the mind, because with the mind we do the awareness, but by healing the other bodies we
Yes.
heal the whole. And when we do this, we actually change the frequency that we are vibrating in. And as we said in the conversation, we attract what we vibrate. So by changing the frequency, we're actually changing our reality. That,
Exactly. That's it.
that's that's the beauty of this work, and was incredible the last time we did the circle, because we included the awareness, the energetics, and we moved the body. So we are
Yes.
actually moving all of those. It's like
Exactly. Yeah.
in
Yeah.
all levels, you are cleaning.
And
And
shaking off, and yeah, because sometimes at the end of a circle, and I play some music at the end, and sometimes the last two songs or the last song, you just get up and move, and people again start listening to their intuition, their inner guidance, and if it says get up and move your body or dance, it's like so amazing when you just use that space to do what you need to do and listen to that and get up, even if you're the only one getting up to move and shake or dance around the space. It's to just to practice that, and like you said, with moving the body with the incredible work that you do as well, and that we experience in the circle in the desert is just incredible. And yeah, it's very powerful to do that, incorporate that.
and the process actually continues. You can have intense dreams. You can, in the next days, a lot
Yep.
of things can come up. It's like you open a portal, you open your subconscious, like you open the Pandora of the subconscious, and everything comes in.
Yeah, exactly. It can even be months afterwards, actually. The effects and benefits are, generally, from what I've experienced with this work, are quite, it's not very temporary. It's like it's sort of it can be quite permanent, like the effects, and the benefits of it. Because I think because we go so deep and we unravel it, and we fully release it and send it back to um the source, then yeah, it feels, um yeah, really, really work done.
Amazing. Amazing. Wow. I hope the listeners are enjoying this conversation. It was so
About
deep.
illumination and And sometimes it's actually quite anti-aging as well. It's so good. It's like, because obviously we're regaining our health, so the vitality in our body reemerges like as a vibrant shining and illumination through our skin and just around the body.
Wow, I love that.
Yeah, it's
You,
so like a lot of my friends who do this work, and they just look so much younger than they are. Just like if they do it regularly. Yeah.
incredible, because people, I just did a post story on this on Instagram and about my transformation, and I have vivid proof of how I was 4 years ago, like chubby and full of problems in my skin, and like food and gym is not enough. Food and gym are probably half of the reason why you are overweight or have problems in your lymphatic system. There is a lot of emotional heaviness. And remembering, for example, emotions are water. So if you have problems with the lymphatic system, look into your emotions, how you are moving your emotions. How is your energetic field? Why, if you are feeling drained, what is actually in your field that is draining you? Because negative thoughts, if you have traumas, wounds, you keep what these traumas and these wounds and these patterns build is low vibrational thoughts, and these low vibrational thoughts, they eat your energy basically. So you are constantly in low level energy. That's why a person is so vibrant. The reason, the secret of a really vibrant and magnetic woman is a woman that does inner work and is happy. She's alive because she's shedding all that shit out of herself. This is the reason why it gives you vitality more than any massage or like, you know,
Yes.
everything, because there are things
Oh,
that
that
just
help. Just yeah.
just this kind of work can do something. So this is why I'm passionate about these holistic methods, and I'm so specific with who I'm bringing in this podcast, or the circles I go with, because this changes your life. It makes you younger. I'm younger than 4 years ago, but no, like, I'm lighter. I'm more confident. I'm more, like, I have more aliveness. When you have all this heaviness, you cannot have like vital energy. It's impossible.
Yes, yes, yes,
And
yes.
so, even though these processes sometimes can be very intense, and we know they can be very intense and sometimes leave you drained you
Yes.
for quite some days,
Mm.
once you bring your energy back, it just, oh my god, it will be harder for you to go in that darkness again. At least that pattern, like if you go again on like the darkness, it's not through that pattern anymore.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
So
Which
you
is
are
great.
removing the chances and probabilities of
Because
being
you
in
just
a low
become so
vibrational state.
aware. Yeah, exactly. And your awareness and you're so conscious of those patterns because it came so clearly for you within that space. And as it unfolds throughout the days and weeks following it, yeah, you just become very aware, very sensitive to it. So
Yes,
that you sort of have no choice but to make the change.
exactly. And you can have the choice. You choose
Yeah.
whether I stay in the pattern. When you do this work, what you gain is the possibility of choosing how you want your
Yes.
life to be. Now you see
Mhm.
what is actually blocking your life, blocking you to move forward. Now you can cut the cords. Now you know with clarity what's out of alignment. So you can
Yes,
reshape your life again.
yes, yes, yes. And it becomes easier because so
Exactly.
many people don't like change. They like staying in that safe space that even if it doesn't, bring their life to total fulfillment, people stay in that, unfortunately. So this really, yeah, helps you to make the change.
Exactly. Amazing. Wow. So for
We could do all day.
all the listeners here, if you really want us to uh, have a takeaway home and give them a message, what would you say to them about this word?
I say, oh, just come and experience it. Just dive deep and explore like who you truly are and open up your creativity, your gifts and your path more and more. And just, yeah, just without fear, let's just dive in together.
And only people that are unconscious are the ones that can be manipulated by people, situations, societies. Only the
Mm,
ones who are sleeping and are unaware of their lives can
mm,
be manipulated and can be trained and
mm.
can be misleaded. So this is about actually becoming wiser and more intelligent. In
Yeah, and just opening up all the possibilities of life, and enjoying the magic of life.
yes, wow, we could stay here hours.
Oh my gosh. I'm looking forward to sitting in circle with you again very soon. And we
Very
can do some
soon,
collaboration together. And yeah, we have a lot of plans
we have
around the globe.
around the globe. Be in tune for this year, this summer, UAE, all other locations, because this is such a potent transformational vortex,
And then
life vortex.
time to do it. Very
Oh my God.
powerful time to
How
start it or to continue it or yeah. Hmm?
so about Gillian, the way you can find her in the description here below on the podcast, you can see you will see her bio and how to find her contacts if you want to book any session or if you are in UAE or all over the globe, but she's holding her circles. You will be able to know about, right? The ways to connect you is, through, you have a group on WhatsApp and
Yes. Yes, we have the tribe on WhatsApp that, yeah, more than welcome. We can add you in so you'll know what events come up. And yes, there's a new
and
Instagram coming soon. But yeah, for now we can you can pop up my Instagram.
amazing.
Yes, I'm
Well,
excited. Thank you so much.
thank you. It was amazing.
So
And
lovely to finally connect and have this time and space to explore this. Yeah, and have this wonderful chat filled with so much beautiful energy and yeah, support and guidance.
oh,
Yummy.
thank you so much, beautiful. And thank you for all the listeners here. And see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for joining me in this episode. I hope you have enjoyed, and if so, let me know how it landed to you. For now, have a gorgeous, beautiful day, and I see you on the next one.